Richmond Raceway is the home of tonight's season finale of the Three Rock Series. This is the JCTV 100 right here on JCTV, the name that Cameron Caldwell made. I'm Josh Coppernell. I'm here with Adam, and Dawson's going to be joining us as well. Dawson is figuring something out at the moment, so we'll go with Adam. Adam, it's been a short season. Of course, this is only race 6. Just, 6 weeks, that's it. But what a great season that this has been. Matt Gruenberg, we know kind of the situation for him. All he has to do is start the race tonight, and he clinches the championship.
Yeah, you mentioned the dominant season he has had, winning Lernerville, Tsukuba, and then South Boston. And then another great performance last week at USA after being pretty much half a lap down. He was able to drive halfway through the field to get another great finish to add to that point lead you mentioned of. And he's in a comfortable spot tonight. I think we're going to see him go out for it tonight and try and have some fun with his competitors and try and steal yet another race win here in the final round of the Three Rock Series.
Last week's winner, Matt Hackathorn, currently P6 in practice. Just 3 minutes left in the practice session. So, we've had 4 races in a row where a guy with the first name of Matt has won. Think that Gruenberg's going to take tonight? I mean, we going to go 5 in a row? I mean, I'm kind of expecting Gruenberg to do something like last week. Just kind of making a challenge for himself.
I think he'd go either way tonight, Josh, because he is going to be really fast, and like you said, I think he is going to try and have a challenge for himself with these competitors. But Matt Hackathorn, he's going to be strong, of course, again tonight, Josh. But everyone else, doors wide open. This is the last round to make something happen. There's a tight battle for second in the standings entering this race, so a lot to go for if you're second on back in the standings, trying to have something happen tonight. Try and end the season off with a win if you're not Gruenberg or Butler, who won at Fontana, or Hackathorn, last week's winner, like you mentioned.
It's going to be pretty interesting. One thing I am surprised to see is out of 11 drivers that have taken a time, the guy that is 11th, those 11, Carlos Acosta, he's been really fast all season long. I think it was kind of known that he wasn't really looking forward to this one as much. But I am a little bit surprised to see that he is last of those in the leaderboard. It's Carlos Acosta. We'll see, what he's able to do in the race. Of course, it's not where you practice, it's not where you start. It's where you finish.
Yeah, I think it's going to be intriguing to see what he does tonight, Josh. You mentioned not looking forward to this track too much, which is a little bit of a surprise to me, considering how well he did at USA last week, at the start at least, and then able to keep his tires under him for a good part of the race and still challenge in the top 5 in the late going. Similar tracks in the layout, but they race a lot different, and of course, a lot different asphalt on the track.
So a minute left in practice. Adam, who is your pick to win?
Gonna go with a little bit of a long shot, someone who has been up in the front all season long, so close on wins, a couple of occasions, including last week. He was fast in the first half of the race. I'll go with James Miller. He's trying to race for second in the standings right now, sits third after a good run last week, so I think he is gonna try and have a good shot tonight, Josh.
Of course, James Miller is P3 in practice. I'm going to go with somebody that I went with earlier in the season. He's currently second in practice, Race Clark. He's been really fast. I think Race is going to get it done tonight.
for it.
So starting on the pole is going to be Brady Smith. Matt Grunberg lines up second. Corey Lindsay third. Trevor Butler fourth. Carlos Acosta fifth. Matt Hackenford sixth. Brent Miller is going to start seventh. Justin Kolb eighth. James Miller ninth. Jess Story 10th. And Race Clark is going to round out the field. Our picks to win, Adam, starting 9th and 11th. Matt Grunberg is on the outside pole. Going to be interesting to see what he does, but in the meantime, Brady Smith having that pole position. See how he is going to do here. And we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but it's not me. It's not on my end, which is a good thing for once. So, 2 laps around the track for pacing, as this is a track under a mile. Currently, track temp is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And calm winds blowing north, 2 miles per hour. So it'll be a headwind as they're heading into 1, and a tailwind into 3. James Miller currently, I'm sorry, that's Brent Miller, currently stopped on the front stretch. Not really sure what's going on there. But the pace car is going to make its way to pit road, and we are going to go green. 100 laps here at Richmond Raceway. Green flag is in the air. And Grunberg way up the racetrack. He's going to be side by side with Corey Lindsay. Well, actually, never mind. Grunberg goes down to the bottom. He's going to take the lead away from Brady Smith. Oh, we have wrecking. Caution is out. Carlos Acosta around. So what happened here? He just... Oh, Miller come down on him and... Ooh. Acosta backed it up into Hackthorne. Let's take a look from our blimp camera. I see Grunberg taking the lead there. And just behind him, the contact between James Miller, Carlos Acosta, and some others.
Here are 3 and 4 cars there, Josh, that just slid up all at the same time. Surprised that happened really early on in this race.
So Matt Grunberg coming down pit road here. He's going to be the first one out. 5 drivers stayed out on the racetrack. Grunberg going to be the first one exiting pit road. Lindsay, Acosta, Hackthorne, Clark still sitting down, damage repair. And Brent Miller has, I believe, no, he's still in. I'm not sure why it's saying out on the ticker. Grunberg going to come back down pit road. So, you know, my question is if he's going to make it a little challenging on himself. Well, I mean, he took the lead pretty early on, but now just coming down pit road. So this might be where he's making it a little bit challenging on himself. And as you saw there on screen, you can try YouTube TV for free, and that was accidental. But anyway. Brady Smith's going to be the leader. James Miller second. Trevor Butler third. Jess Story fourth. Justin Gold fifth. Race Clark sixth. Carlos Acosta seventh. Corey Lindsay eighth. Matt Gruberg ninth. Matt Hackathorn 10th. And Brent Miller is exiting pit road now. He's 4 laps down and 11th. Hackathorn down pit road. Still lights on the pace car. If I can English, lights on the pace car are on. I expect them to turn off this time by the line. And maybe we can see some racing. Last week, of course, 0 cautions. We didn't have a single caution last week at USA International.
And last week, Josh, we thought that caught Matt Grunberg off by quite a big surprise there because of that.
Yeah, I believe it did. I mean, Matt was expecting a caution or two and didn't get it. So Hackathorn going to catch up to the field. Grunberg going to start in P9. Quite the distance he's got on himself to get back up to the lead. Pace cars coming in, and they are inside the restart zone. The green flag is waving. We're back underway here at Richmond. And a great start from Brady Smith. James Miller had an opportunity to clear himself down low. He stayed where he was at. And now James Miller crossing over, trying to get the crossover on Smith. Miller's underneath. Still side by side for the race lead. Smith has the advantage on that outside line. I think he might have gotten a little bit too high there. Disadvantage Miller by a nose. Miller is clear now with James Miller, the race leader, and Smith going to look underneath. Smith wants the lead back as they're side by side once again. Brady Smith missed the bottom just a little bit, comes up, still side by side. Miller with the advantage. And here comes Race Clark. He wants some of this. He's going to be underneath Jess Story for third. Race Clark, not quite clear yet. Now clear for third. Butler and Story going to be side by side for fourth. Story just stuck in that outside line right now. As the lead between Miller and Smith still pretty much the same. Not going away.
Battle for fourth, you mentioned Jess Story on the high side, able to clear Trevor Butler right now. He's going to have a challenge to his outside going into turn 1. Justin Kolb, driver who dominated last week's race at USA, Josh, lost the lead in the final couple laps. Going to get around Butler there into turn 3.
Yeah, Kolb, he did a great job. Just dominating that race. And, I mean, you know, we kept talking about Hackathorn and his race. But, yeah, I mean, really, it was Justin Kolb that dominated the race. And meanwhile, battle. Smith looking outside of Miller. Smith not quite there to the right rear, but he's going to get there.
And James Miller was driving way down the racetrack there, trying to clear Smith. Looks like he's going to maybe do it here off of turn 2. Did good back straightaway run for the 09. 3 wide, a little bit further back, Josh, into turn 1, Matt Gruenberg. Inside, Corey Lindsay and Carlos Acosta. Gruenberg going to get both those spots there, but Acosta is going to stay right to his right side.
Carlos mentioned how I was surprised that he was 11th in practice. Some issues early. Acosta P8. Still right there on the back bumper of Gruenberg. Battle for third. Race Clark gets around Jess Story. Race Clark's been pretty quick. And Miller and Smith keep battling for that race lead. I mean, right now they are single file, but if they keep battling, this just will help Clark, who's, I mean, only a couple car lengths back on Smith anyway.
Brady Smith tried there in the center of 1 and 2, it looked like, Josh, trying to get some run here on James Miller. Couldn't do it to do anything on the back straightaway. Still trying to show the nose here, entering 3, and it's tucked up right underneath the 09, excuse me, his rear wing here on the front straightaway, Josh. But you mentioned Race Clark pretty quick, and he has caught these guys. It's going to be a 3-race battle for the lead, if not 4 here shortly.
Yeah, and somewhere back there, not too far, is Gruenberg watching this and saying, boys, have at it. I'm on my way.
Yeah, he's working to the inside of Trevor Butler right now, trying to get the 6th position. Good run off of turn 4, but Butler's going to stay glued to his outside.
And we're watching Race Clark, who just made a pass on Smith and put his nose underneath James Miller. Clark tried to get a twofer. Right now, side by side with Smith.
Just going to reel in Jess Story here. There's a good run off of turn 4. But you mentioned Clark on the inside of Smith right now. It's been looking like it's going to have to be a big move, and he almost stove it in real deep there into turn 1. Did a good job not making any contact with Brady Smith there.
You know, these guys, they know this is the last race of the season. They want to end it on the right foot, and Clark just gets ahead of Smith. Now Clark right there on the bumper of Miller. It's 4 drivers, nose to tail, and Kolb not too far behind either. And Gruenberg creeping into the picture. Story looking underneath Smith. Story's there.
Yeah, he showed the nose, and then Brady Smith gave him plenty of enough room to make that position open on the bottom lane. While up front, Race Clark trying to show the nose on James Miller. I don't think James Miller is going to give Clark the same satisfaction. Off a full Story. Got a little tight there, Josh, and a little contact with the 10 of Brady Smith.
Yeah, that's what you call leaning on each other there. That they were. Story losing a lot of momentum. This is going to bring Kolb right into the picture. And Gruenberg, once again, just washing out his windshield, seeing these guys race this hard.
Clark, once again, Race Clark put the left headlight below James Miller, entering the corner, washed up a little bit on exit, but still trying to show the nose here each corner. And he is tucked up right underneath James right now.
Usually race cars don't have headlights because the track is always lit, but you mentioned it, the headlight. Clark dives it in, actually gets on the apron. Race Clark side by side with Miller for the lead. And they're going to be 3 wide.
Yeah, he's going to look for it, but I don't think James Miller's going to give him enough room. Miller shut the door on both of them there into turn 1.
What a great job by Miller. I can't believe he pulled that off. Gruenberg's gotten by Kolb, by the way.
still side by side for second here, and you mentioned Gruenberg has a good run on Just Story down the front straightaway, going to swing to the outside here into turn 1. Going to allow Justin Kolb to peek back into this battle. Good run through 1 and 2 for Kolb, but that battle for second continues to be side by side.
Costa and Butler side by side way in the back, but we are continuing to watch this second place battle between Clark and Smith. Gruenberg, on the other hand, looking underneath Story, trying to get into 4th position, and not quite clear.
That was a big dive into turn 1. He was clear for a second, but he just sent it in there too deep without having to lose a little bit of momentum through the center and exit, and that allowed Story to close back in, but 3 and 4 is going to be pretty much perfect for that 54. Here comes Justin Kolb in that 52 to battle Story again, but Clark and Smith still side by side. Clark with a big dive into turn 1.
These guys stay side by side, and look at Kolb underneath Gruenberg. Gruenberg actually going to clear Kolb now. But if these guys still side by side, you think Gruenberg takes 3?
Possibilities there. It's only going to be about where he's going to do it and what lane does it put him in. And if he goes and tries to shoot through the middle, I think that could be very dangerous. But I think Clark's going to be able to clear Smith here barely, and he does.
Oh, man, once again. Smith isn't going to be too happy if Clark keeps doing that. I can tell you that as a race car driver myself here on iRacing. But Clark now, as you mentioned, clear of Smith. Clark once again going to try to have his sights on Miller. You know, I remember back earlier in the season, Clark and Gruenberg having an amazing battle for the lead. And, you know, could be the case today. Clark gets past Miller. Gruenberg, he's kind of stuck behind Smith right now. But once again, we could see a really fun battle between Clark and Gruenberg. As Clark's going to bump Miller just a little bit, get underneath. Here comes Smith.
The top 6 are all lined up right here, Josh. Smith to the back bumper of Clark, trying to give him a little bit of a help into turn 3. Clark and Miller side by side even through 4, Josh. And Gruenberg has a little bit of an opening now. He's not going to be able to take it because here comes Brady Smith to his inside. 2 by 2 up here, and Gruenberg way to the top. They might be 4 for a second.
Wow, they were 4. They get back to 2 by 2 as Miller's still leading. Smith gets out of it. Clark gonna barely, not quite. Oh,
Gruenberg
Clark goes
went for it.
very wide. Gruenberg down on the apron.
I was not surprised he went for it, but I'm surprised he made that work because I thought that block by Race Clark was going to be good enough. James Miller almost got in the wall there, but Race Clark still holding his ground here in the middle lane, and Matt Gruenberg on the bottom, going to dive it again into turn 3.
Still 3 wide for the race lead. Miller is going to get clear of Clark. Clark and Gruenberg side by side for second. I think Kolb caught the wall just behind Clark. I thought Clark was going to get it too. The angle he was taking off of turn 2.
I didn't see if he caught the wall, but that GR86 was wobbling all over the place down the back straightaway. I'm surprised Brady Smith wasn't able to pounce more. These guys come a little bit spreading out here, Josh. I wonder if they abused the tire wear here a little bit with this battle, but Gruenberg not giving up. He's going to send it into turn 2. Couldn't make it work on the exit, and here comes Race Clark back to his outside, entering 3.
I think Clark sent it as well. Clark knew he could not let Gruenberg clear. And look at Kolb. Kolb is back up in the picture.
It allowed Kolb to close right up, and Clark was giving Gruenberg no space on the front straightaway, almost door-hander to door-hander down the front. Gruenberg with a little bit of a better run through 1 and 2, but that top side has so much speed down the straights, Josh.
And almost. Kolb could actually push Clark, bump drafted him at Richmond.
And I bet James Miller is loving every second of this right
I bet you're right on that. And, you know, Adam, I was just thinking of something. Oh, never mind. Culp going 3 wide all the way down to the bottom. Culp trying to get into second. He wants it to. For them in contact! Clark's going to get into the wall. Gruenberg is going to...
Brady Smith.
Clear it. Yeah, Smith underneath Gruenberg. Gruenberg still clear of Smith. Now Miller has to be thinking, okay, y'all messed up.
Yeah. Race Clark falls all the way back to 6th position, and he's limping down the back straightaway, wobbling. I think he's pitting in.
Indeed he is. He is on the apron. Race Clark going to bring it down pit road. Bummer there for Clark. Been so fast all season. But I was...
This is... Sorry, Josh, real quick. This has pretty much been the story of his season. Unfortunately, it's going to culminate here tonight with this, but you mentioned fast, but just gets caught up in minor incidents that derail the race.
So what I was going to say...
3 wide on the front straightaway. Trevor Butler, Acosta, and Hackathorn. Battle for 6 now.
I was going to say, we've been given permission to interview drivers under green flag, and I was just thinking while all that was going on, how great would it have been for one of them in.
That would be great, but I don't know if we could have kept our composure together.
Oh, man, Butler really sent it in there. Costa, he's trying to hang on to the outside of Hackenford. This race isn't even halfway, by the way. I mean, we're close. 43 down, 57 to go. While have a moment to catch our breaths, I just... Big shout out to Adam. Last week we had a lot of issues with the stream, and I don't know what was going on, but Adam, well, and myself, we did a tape delay type broadcast. We got the last, was it 30 laps, Adam?
Yep.
And we got all that recorded, did a little bit of recording on the beginning, just kind of highlights of the beginning portion. But big shout out to Adam because he did all the behind the scenes work, and definitely much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. That was a little bit fun to put together. I wish it didn't go the way it did a couple of different times in the process of producing that, but it's still fun to at least get it out there for these guys because I know they want full exposure of this league, and that was a great race, and I'm glad that we were able to call the last 30 laps of it, at least in some fashion.
Yeah. We even had issues with the issues, and it was a mess, but we made it work, and it turned out awesome. So, we got
battle for third right now on the track, Josh. Justin Kolb and Brady Smith going out with Jess Story right behind.
Yeah, I was just going to say we've got a couple of fun battles going on. Another one, Hackathorn, Butler, and Costa. But this one right here, Kolb gonna get in front of Smith, maybe? Nope, not quite. It's Kolb underneath Smith. Story is actually looking high. We might be 3 wide. We won't be. Smith and Kolb still side by side. Story right behind Smith. We are officially halfway through this race. Race Clark back out on track. Race Clark's going to be 9 laps down.
Watching the gap right now, Josh, between James Miller, the race leader, and Matt Grunberg, pretty intriguing. Right now, it's about 7/10, maybe 8/10 of a second between these two, but it's going to be really interesting because you mentioned Race Clark back out on the racetrack. He is right in front of these leaders.
Yeah, the gap between Miller and Grunberg, I mean, it's not really grown, not really shrank much. With Race Clark right there, I'm not sure how this could affect it. Race Clark presumably on fresher tires, so maybe it's not going to mess up anything. Yeah, Clark about a second ahead. This guy's still battling Kolb all the way on the inside of Smith. Kolb actually a way shallow entry into one.
Going to continue attacking on the bottom. Maybe a little bit below the apron though with the left side tires 2, 3, and 4. Good run on the front straightaway and just Story trying to find somewhere to go.
As I just mentioned, I wasn't so sure James Miller would get up to Clark. Well, he did. And now Miller has Clark between himself and Grunberg. So we've got this fun battle going on right here. But you know what? I want to do something fun. Maybe. Hey James, it's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Alright, so not something we typically do, but something these guys have been encouraging Adam and I to do is interview you guys under green flag conditions. So, first of all, you're out front. You had a really fun battle behind you. And that battle has dissipated right now. Got Grunberg kind of closing in little by little, but really the gap has been about the same. Been watching the lap times between you two and just staying calm, not even trying to think about him, or what's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, well, based off every other race, I'm bound to kill the right front here soon. So I've just been trying to keep a steady pace, even with even at the start there with everyone right behind me. I was still just trying to lift early and just let it coast, not burn it up. And then, yeah, they got to battling, and I saw crazy contact behind me, and I think Matt might have some left front damage that's been hurting his turn-ins. So, I don't know, we'll see. I don't have the most faith right now that I'll have the long run pace, because Matt's Matt and is insane, but we'll see. Try. Maybe I can hold him off or wreck him. I didn't say that.
If you look in your mirror, Grunberg just got around.
I ain't looking in that mirror.
So, yeah, focus forward here. But 40 laps to go. You're doing really good out there. So when they were battling, you saw them battling in the mirror. Were you trying to take care of your tires a little bit more? Save a little bit of rubber?
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, I was just trying to maintain a decent gap. And I was surprised when they were racing each other how much of a gap I was starting to pull. So yeah, I was just trying to maintain that right front. Chances are here soon he'll get tight in turn 2, and I don't want to kill the wall. Trying to get it to keep rotating and keep momentum going. And hopefully we can stay ahead of that 54.
All right. I'll let you get back down to it and go back to focusing.
All right, thanks.
Yep, thank you. And that was James Miller, the race leader.
So nice of him to talk to him. That's why he's out there doing his thing.
Yeah, I don't mind being interviewed, but I can say that I probably would not really be sure of what to do if I was being interviewed under green. Grunberg is closing in, but really just looking at the lap times. They've been about even. I've been really impressed with the pace that James Miller has had.
I've been really impressed with the ongoing battle for third. Josh, it is continuing to be way behind the leader. They keep losing time to James Miller and Matt Grunberg, but it just continues. Every other lap, they are swapping every positions from 3rd through 5th. Justin Cole, Just Story, and Brady Smith just went single file for the first time in laps, it seems like, but they were side by side, almost at times looking 3 wide, just continuing to heat it up here on track.
These guys still really close. Carlos Acosta currently P6 ahead of Matt Hackathorn. Corey Lindsay just ahead of Butler, or I'm sorry. Yeah, well, that's Miller looking underneath Lindsay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, Josh. I don't know when it happened either, but some point Brent Miller went down 4 laps to the rest of these guys. So he's out here on his own lap, racing in 10th place, and like you mentioned, just got by Corey Lindsay in a good run to get by last week's winner, Matt Hackathorn, here on track.
Well, Hackathorn just had a moment as he was side by side with Acosta. I think they might have made some contact.
Yeah, he was really slow off of turn 4, so something major happened for that 04, and did a good job keeping it within the laws here and keeping it straight.
So, Carlos Acosta real close to the wall there. You know what, Adam? Why don't you go ahead and bring in Carlos?
All right. Hey, Carlos, this is the guys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, hey guys, how y'all doing tonight?
Doing well. Watching you right now in P6. You got that lap car just ahead of you, and Corey all over you. This has been a fun battle to watch most of the night. With Matt Hackathorn also here and Trevor Butler. You guys have just been stuck together most of this race.
Yeah, I've completely messed up my strategy for the race. I was supposed to save tires, and then in the heat of the moment with the lap 1 incident, that was my fault, and just getting caught up in a track I'm not too good at right now with these cars. I've completely killed my tires, so I'm just going to be hanging on for the rest of the race. But I'm making the most of it, battling with Hackathorn. And Lindsay's here now. He's got some fresh tires, so he may actually get past me here pretty soon. Brent got past me. He had that issue in the pace steps where his car just stalled. And iRacing, for some reason, wouldn't allow him to turn his car back on. That's why he's multiple laps down. So Brent would actually probably be running 6 right now if it wasn't for that misfortune.
Well, that's a real shame for him. He does look really fast. We just saw him go up there and pass all you guys. Great defense there on Corey the last lap while you're talking, Carlos. Big slide there, sorry, but less than 30 laps to go in this season. How has this 6-race 3-rock season been for yourself and overall?
It's been fun. Honestly, I kind of missed this. I've been looking for an excuse to get back into league racing. I do plan on running as much as I can with the Elite series, with the Elite League next year. But got to get my feet wet here. And while Corey himself isn't planning on doing another 3-rock season until same time next year, there's something going in the works. Maybe 1 or 2 additional series to hold us here in Thoroughbred Racing League before the next official 3 Rock one starts up again.
That's exciting to hear. Coming with over just 25 laps to go, we'll let you get back to it, Carlos. Good luck rest of the race, rest of the season.
Yeah, if a caution comes out, you bet your Bunsen burner I'm going down Pier Road to get some right sides.
All right. Seems like a common theme for everyone. Keep care of the rights. Thanks, Carlos.
No problem.
See him there running in the 7th position now, Josh, with Corey Lindsay just in front of him, but able to keep Matt Hackathorn just behind, but a bump there to double O with Lindsay in turn 1 and 2.
So I'll tell you what, while all that was going on, I was taking a look at something else that was really interesting to me, and that was the gap between Gruenberg and Miller. I was actually kind of scared that we were going to have a battle for the lead while we were talking to Miller. On the other hand, Miller actually has pulled away from Gruenberg. I think Gruenberg just had some kind of issue because the gap has grown 4/10 since I just started talking about him.
Oh, well, James Miller's going to have a big issue here soon. Carlos Acosta and all those guys we just talked about, they are pretty much in front of the race leader here. So Trevor Butler, who has also since had an issue since we did those interviews, Josh, he has lost 3 laps to James, and now he's about to lose a 4th, but just in front of them, Hackathorn, Lindsay, Acosta, and then Brett Miller.
Right now they are single file. Miller is just praying these next 23 laps go by quick and smooth. He does not want to see a caution, and he wants to get around these guys. He does not want, Carlos Acosta to bet the Bunsen burner to get some right sides.
Yeah, you can see the way these guys are driving back here. They are just hanging on for dear life with these tires, just trying to survive. Hackathorn and Acosta contact right in front of James. Here comes Miller with a good run. Is he going to push the issue? He would try and make it quicker on these guys. It's going to tuck in line behind Matt Hackathorn for now, Josh.
He's going to try through the middle. He clears Acosta low. Looked high on Hackathorn. Now
I don't know if that was intentional.
I don't think it was. Honestly, I don't think it was. And you know Carlos wants to take a 3 wide there. Carlos going to get an Hackathorn.
I think they got saved a little bit there by blinking out.
Gruenberg looking at this, and he's probably getting scared.
20 laps to go, and he's got now a 1.4 second deficit and 2 lap cars in between.
And Costa trying to look underneath Hackathorn. Meanwhile, Miller is caught up to Lindsay. Miller's going to look underneath Lindsay.
I would assume Trevor Butler's issue was he made a trip down pit road. DaCosta and... Sorry, DaCosta and Lindsay. Oh, that was Hackathorn, excuse me. Acosta and Hackathorn almost had a moment off turn 2 right as Gruenberg got to their inside, Josh.
So much going on. I'm not sure where to look. But Gruenberg has gotten around Hackathorn and Acosta, as you mentioned. Acosta getting on that apron just a little bit. Hackathorn going to get tight.
Yeah, Hackathorn is running out of space there off of turn 2.
Oh, way up the racetrack.
And maybe turn 4.
Costa, some kind of issue. Hackathorn's going to get around Costa. Still a lot of lap traffic in front of race leader James Miller. The good news is that gap between himself and Gruenberg is growing bigger and bigger. Miller really desperately needs this race to stay clean and green. Now, I mentioned still lots of lap traffic in front of Miller, but the good news is they're spread out. They're not close together, so he's not going to have to worry about these guys being side by side, at least until he gets to Jess Story and Race Clark, of course, not battling side by side for position. Race Clark 10 laps down. Just Story hanging on. Clark is staying in front of Story.
Gap still growing for James Miller in the race lead as Grunberg gets closer to the lap car Corey Lindsay. Don't think James Miller is really pressing the attack too much, Josh, right now and trying to lap Trevor Butler too much.
Oh, caution is out! Big spin on the front stretch. It's gonna be
That
Race
is
Clark.
A big incident with Race Clark there.
I have to imagine somebody might have lost their patience.
That's no, not really what happened. I don't think. I think it was just a case of a car getting tight, and wow, Brent Miller barely escaped that.
Oh,
If
my.
he can, you need to get on board of the 89 because that was close.
Poor Smith.
Yeah, Brady Smith really had nowhere to go there. There might have been contact. Actually, looking at it again, Josh. I'm sorry.
Take a look at the blip.
I didn't rewind it far enough, apparently.
So I'm going to take back my original comment of him getting impatient. And the reason is, it looks like
Race
Clark,
definitely hits the apron there.
yes. Race Clark hits the apron. Just Story, I think, might have just had a little bit more speed going through the corner. I really don't think that was a case of Story just losing his cool. Now, you said look on the onboard of the 89, was it?
Yeah, Brent barely missed both Brady and Race there.
Oh, my.
And Josh, we had pit stops the last lap, and Matt Grunberg beat James Miller out by less than a tire width, I think, at the line. It was really a real close race off of pit road.
Miller had a faster pit stop by 1/10 of a second. So it was time down pit road, getting into the box. See Miller just kind of having fun with Grunberg, giving a little bump. So while we're under caution, check out jctvracing.com for our upcoming schedule. Anything going on with JCTV. We have a huge 2024 coming up. Pretty much racing every day except Sunday, and for the time being Thursday until SAC starts back up. Which leads me to SAC. I mean, season finale is this Thursday for the SAC Coast to Coast Cup Series. That one's going to be an exciting season finale that takes place at Phoenix Raceway. Those guys always put on a great show. And Friday, you guys remember last year, Racers versus Redditors, the inaugural Racers versus Redditors, well, the second annual one is going to take place this Friday, 7:45? Adam?
Yep.
7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we go live. You're not going to want to miss that. I don't even know who's going to show up. But pace car's in, green flag's back out, 8 laps to go. Great restart by Grunberg.
Yeah, very disorganized restart for pretty much everyone besides Matt Grunberg. James Miller gonna dive here into turn 1, still be about half a car length off that 54, who slides a little bit off of turn 2. That was a big slide.
Miller going to go underneath Grunberg, and it's not about saving tire now. These guys just going to go. Miller going to get clear of Grunberg. Kolb trying to pressure Grunberg. Not able to. Grunberg is actually going to look to the outside of Miller. Single file between the top three. Miller, shallow entry, Grunberg trying to get to the outside. Kolb going to use that apron, put his left sides down there. They're going to be side by side. I think Grunberg's going to have the advantage on the front stretch, but Kolb's still staying down there. Kolb still pressuring Grunberg. This is exactly what Miller needs.
Kolb with a big slide there off of turn 2, Josh. I think that is going to leave Grunberg with second place. Kolb is going to have to regroup. It might just be running out of time here.
5 laps to go here in the season. Miller. He said earlier he wasn't looking in his mirror. I wonder if he's looking in his mirror now. He's got just over 0.2 of a second. Misses the bottom just a little bit. Grunberg did a great job hitting the apex. Miller having a shallow entry. Grunberg's there.
That was a big defense by James Miller, cut off his own corner entry just to make sure Grunberg didn't have a better one himself. Grunberg looking on the outside here on the back straightaway. He is there.
Miller wants Grunberg. If he's going to pass, Miller wants Grunberg to do it at the top. He's going to force Grunberg up there. Grunberg trying to get low. He wants on that apron, but Miller not letting him. Three to go. 2.5 at this point. Grunberg still right there with Miller. I think it's going to...
They're off of turn 4.
I think it's going to take a bump and run. 2 to go.
I think so too.
Grunberg
Justin
goes
Kolb's
way
back
wide.
in the picture.
Kolb putting the pressure on Grunberg, making it difficult on Grunberg to be able to get to Miller. Grunberg sends it in there. They're all clear. White flag waving. Last lap of the race. Last lap of the season.
Grunberg has a run. He's on the outside here, but he's going to give it all up to go wide here. Here comes Kolb, big lunge.
Grunberg trying to get the run on the straightaways. That's what he's going to do. He's got a huge run. Miller goes down to block. He's all the way down at the apron. Grunberg right behind Miller. He's going to go to the outside. I don't think it's going to be enough. Checkered flag waving, and it is Miller by 8, almost 900ths of a second.
That was amazing finish again here in the 3 Rock Series. What a way to end the season, Josh. Matt Grunberg coming across the line as the champion, trying to take another win, but switching lanes right there on James Miller, trying to make something happen. But James Miller gets it done here in the final race of the season, Josh.
That was fun. That was a very fun, incredible race. Miller earned that. And just when you thought that it was over for him, Miller earned that. Grunberg going to celebrate as well, as he is the champion. So, though he come up just short in the race, Grunberg still has a lot to celebrate.
Here, you mentioned earlier, his 3 wins this season. All consecutive, Josh. That's probably one of the most impressive parts about that.
It's hard to win one race. It's hard to win a couple races. But, you know, get 3 wins in all in a row as well. Pretty impressive what Grunberg was able to do. So, let's go ahead and take a look at our unofficial reason. Okay. All right. James Miller, of course, taking the win. Barely old enough. Matt Grunberg. Justin Gold gets third. Corey Lindsay. How about that? Fourth place finish for Lindsay. Carlos Costa in fifth. Jess Story, one lap down, finishing sixth. Matt Hackthorne in seventh. Trevor Butler, eighth. Brent Miller, ninth. Brady Smith in 10th. And Race Clark brings it home in 11th. Go ahead and talk to our third place finisher, Justin Gold. Hey, Justin. First of all, great race. No, it's a couple positions short of what you wanted, but you were there right at the end. We had that caution come out and put everybody right back in it. So at the end, just walk us through how you were driving those last few laps.
Yeah, it was. I don't know that I had anything really for those front runners. They were sort of the class of the field all night. Also, big apologies to Race Clark out there. I feel really bad about that contact I made with him and Matt Grunberg. Probably about halfway into the race. But yeah, it was. I almost made a really big mistake there on that caution. I did miss pit road the first time around. Somehow, I still got third place back, so it wasn't really a huge detriment. But yeah, it was a fun track, fun racing all night. Didn't seem like tire management was as big as it was last week, so that was a little bit more fun. But as usual with this track, turn 2 was always quick to punish, and I think I got a few guys. So just fun race. Congrats to Matt Grunberg for winning the championship, and it was fun racing with James Miller the few battles that we had here this year.
You know, just what a season it has been, already coming to an end. Is there any moment from this season that has been one that you absolutely loved, just one that you'd love to go back to?
I mean, we had a couple battles with Carlos there throughout the year. Well, I think it was back-to-back weeks, South Boston and then USA, and that was really fun. I don't get to race with Carlos a ton anymore. It's either a broadcaster role or a driver team owner role, so I love racing with him, and it was fun to really battle with him those few times that we did. But just overall, just happy to be racing with Three White again. These guys are the best group that you could be racing with, in my opinion, and I'm really looking forward to what 2024 brings for racing here.
All right, sponsor shout outs. Who would you like to thank? What's it done for you?
Don't have really any sponsors. Just a big shout out to Corey Lindsay again, man. Back 2014, he started this league on iRacing. It was a console game before, or a console league before that, and I was there the first year, and I've been here ever since just because I love this group. I love these people that are in here, and Corey does a great job putting these events together. Just huge shout out to him. I feel like he goes underappreciated sometimes, so definitely shout out to him.
All right, congrats on the third place finish, and great season that you had.
Thanks, guys.
And that was Justin Kolb, our third place finisher. So we're going to skip over our second place finisher just for a moment. And we're going to turn things over to Adam, who has our race winner.
Down here in Victory Lane, James Miller, you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, spoke with you, of course, earlier in the race, and just trying to keep Grunberg behind you, hoping it was going to be green to the finish. Ended up having that caution late. What was going through your mind when that caution came out in the final 15 laps?
I'll be honest, because I didn't expect the pull from Matt, and then it got a little boring and lonely. So it was kind of cool to be able to race it. I like racing for it and not flat out, but or flat out. No, I like going flat out. I don't like having strategized going, to be honest. But it was good until I kind of stalled it leaving this box, and I came out second behind Matt. I was like, I blew it. But I think Matt's car was a little too damaged and tight. Had some crazy moments trying to keep him back, but it was fun. Fun racing Matt. And always nice when you come out ahead of him.
I bet. It was fun for us to watch. Like you mentioned, you get that spot back on him after the pit stops. I didn't realize you had an issue there leaving the box, but it was still a close race off a pit road there, and then on the restart. Before we get to that, once we got done talking to you in that first interview, there was a swarm of lap traffic in front of you guys, and you just picked your time and got through them relatively clean there.
Yeah, it got quite busy real quick there, and I mean they're racing too. I knew that, but maybe a little too much ego on my head and thinking, I'm the leader. I can push through this. But we got through it, and no harm, no foul until the caution. Nope, still can ask for.
Well, you end the season off with a win and a trip to victory lane. Overall, how does this 6-week season rank for you and everything else for this 09 car that we've had here in the last couple of weeks?
I mean, we'll definitely take a win. I mean, statistically, I've finished 4th 4 times. Yep, and then I think I didn't finish one race, and then with the win. I think we'll take that. Come out second in the championship, so it's good. It's just great to be back, race wide, race guys. It's like, I think it was years ago now. This forever. It's like old time.
All right, before we let you off to continue celebrating this season-ending win, who do you have to shout out and thank? Any sponsors to get you here?
Shout out to Matt for not wrecking me. That's huge shout out to Corey putting this little winter series on. Hope we get a longer series going next. Something with a bit more power, a bit drivability, but it was a fun car, fun racing at times, a little spread out at others. All in all, good. Thanks for you guys. Broadcast. Cool to look back on our racing and think we're professional or something.
Well, thanks for your time, James. It's fun to watch you out there. Congrats again on the victory, and hopefully I will be talking to you next season.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
From victory lane to the championship stage, take it over, Josh, with a very happy Matt Grunberg.
Matt Grunberg, got him in your home this season right here in the broadcast booth. So, first of all, congratulations on the championship. But just talking about this race real quick, you were doing a great job getting through the field. And then catching Miller. Now, I'm not sure if I missed something. We were watching the incredible drive that you had, and we went to go look at something else and started interviewing Carlos. And I noticed your pace started to fall off. You got further and further away from Miller. Something happened there? Did you just burn up the tires? Or what's kind of going on with that 54?
Yeah, we were giving it all we had. Whenever we were battling 3 wide there for a second, I think a 52 got to the inside, and then the race was on the outside. Kolb got a little tight on the bottom and slid up into us, gave us some left front damage, and then bounced into a race on the top side. He ended up getting the worst of it. and had to bring it down pit road for repairs. And that gave us about 40 seconds of damage. Normally not too bad, but with how aero dependent these cars were on the straightaways, you really lost a lot of speed. So I was really just doing everything I could to hang with James there for a while, and I was doing a pretty good job staying with him. I don't know how I was going to make the pass, but if I ever got to him. And then once we caught lap traffic, he got the draft as well, and it was just the car just didn't have enough in it at that point to maintain the pace and make it through the field as quick as he did.
Caution comes out, and you guys go down pit road, get some 4 freshies on the cars. You just beat out James Miller coming out of pit road, and on the restart, he had a great restart, and then you, Miller, and Kolb were battling at that point. Walk us through the battle and how that played out for you.
Yeah, I was giving it all we had. Just getting every inch out of the car we could. And was a little too aggressive, I think, in 1 and 2. I didn't quite get the run I wanted. I think I wanted to enter a little bit higher than I actually did, and ended up getting a little too tight off of 4, and just gave James an easy pass down the back stretch. And from there, it was just I was trying to get back to the outside and maybe kind of pinch him down in the corners, but I just could never get back to him. And then the runs down the straightaway just weren't as good for us. So we gave it all we got. And then I tried to get underneath him, but he was doing a great job of guarding the apron. So I just had no shot of getting underneath him. And maybe try to make him push too hard into 1 there and maybe slide up and maybe sneak my way in through, but he held it on lock. So congrats to James. He did a great job in defending for sure.
All right, now looking back at the season as a whole, of course, you are the champion. You won 3 races in a row. But is there any race that you just look back and want to relive that moment, or maybe change anything?
No, I think maybe the first race of the season when I ended up getting taken out early on one of the wrecks on the backstretch at Auto Club. Maybe I take it a little easier and don't push as hard early in the race. But we were making the top work there, and I was trying to get to the front just by using the top. I thought that would have been fun, but unfortunately we ended up getting collected in a wreck. So maybe don't push the top as early in that race as we did, and then maybe we wouldn't got it collected and would have been there for the finish. But all in all, I think the season was great. Had a great time coming back for 3 wide. I'm glad that Corey was able to bring the series back, and had a lot of fun racing with some of the people that we used to race with in this league, and it was good to get everyone back together.
All right, before I let you go, just one last chance to give any sponsors shout-outs.
Yeah, I definitely want to shout out my wife Samantha. I know she's watching, and then all the fans tuning in to the broadcast. You guys for putting on the great broadcast this week, and just all the competitors and everybody who made this league happen this year.
All right, congrats on the championship, and what a great race you put on tonight.
Thanks. I hope the fans liked it.
For sure. That was Matt Gruenberg, tonight's runner-up, but championship winner. Adam, I had no idea what to expect from this season when we came on as the broadcasters. I've really not done anything outside of NASCAR type stuff. We've had a couple of other events here, Indy 500, if I could say that. It was before the whole change. don't sue me. We've had a fun dirt race, couple of them before, just lots of different types of racing. But this is the first time we've actually had a series that was consistent. They used something that wasn't a NASCAR type vehicle. So, I mean, just, I'll be honest, I had no idea how it was going to work. I was, just here and just going to let these guys surprise me. I was surprised. This season, the 6-race season, the last 6 weeks has been amazing. We've watched great races. These guys are great drivers and have put on just great shows for us.
Yeah, they've been a lot of fun to watch, and it's been great to call them alongside you, Josh. And like you said, this series, such a unique concept, but it has really stood out. Never would I have expected these road racing cars. There's all kinds of road racing cars you can take to ovals, Josh, and we know this, and have a blast with them, but I wouldn't have expected the GR86 being one of those, and it put on quite a show every track we went to in some form or fashion, and every race has been a lot of fun to call and broadcast and watch for sure, and hopefully we get to do this again next season, Josh, and these guys continue to have a lot of fun this next year, and this 3-wide racing league can continue to grow.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, hoping that we can call this next season. I mean, and first of all, I do want to shout out Corey, Lindsay, and Carlos. 3-wide TV is a whole separate thing. I've worked with them before. I haven't worked with them, but 3-wide TV has commentated races for me before I had JCTV. So I'm familiar with 3-wide TV. Carlos, as business relationship there. So I mean, the 3-wide racing league, they have their in-house broadcasters, 3-wide TV, like I mentioned. But a big shout out to Corey and Carlos, for putting this on. Corey, really, and Carlos. Corey for allowing Carlos to race. We saw that with the SR in the Hits News Truck Series, where I really wanted to race so bad in that series, and we worked it out. So it's awesome to see something similar get worked out here, and I'm telling you, even though they've got the 3-wide TV with these guys, I sure hope we still get called back next season, Adam. This has been fun. This has been incredible, and I've had a blast. I've looked forward to these races pretty much after Auto Club, so this has been fun. Great fun series. I absolutely applaud Corey and everybody else that has made this possible for making this a fun series. And that's what they kept saying. This is a fun series. This isn't something that we want to take too seriously. Still take the racing seriously, but just have fun. And I've really enjoyed that so much.
Yeah, it's nice to have a different type of league, really, to call in a little bit out of our comfort zone, like we tried again tonight, Josh, with the mid-race interviews. A lot of fun for us, I think. A little bit nerve-wracking also while they're out on the racetrack under green in competition in the heat of the battle, but still get some good responses like we saw tonight, get some good conversation despite all that, and still get good shows with all this racing like we mentioned, Josh. And it's just like you keep saying, and like I said earlier, it's been a fun season, and hopefully we get to have more of this, more stuff like this, and this just continues to grow, and we get to have maybe more fun and wacky combinations that turn out to be real spectacles to watch.
So, um, I am trying to look for something, but anytime that you want to see what's coming up on JCTV, as mentioned earlier, you can go to jctvracing.com. We have all our shows upcoming on there, and see what time they are, so you won't miss anything. And now I have what I was looking for. So, right there is the finale for us. Of course, saw the Three Rock Series. It's this right here, Richmond. What a fun race this was. Got Thursday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. SAC Season 1 finale at Phoenix. We'll crown a champion there, too. And, not listed on here, but Friday night, 7:45 p.m. Eastern, is going to be the Racers versus Redditors. Second annual race. And I'm looking forward to that one so much. Again, I don't even know who's going to be in it. I don't know. I know like one confirmed driver, which is I'm pretty sure Braden Laster. I think kind of a given. Braden, of course, a commentator of JCTV with us as well. So I have no idea. Everything's been a secret from me, which some ways I like, some ways I don't, because it's killing me. I want to know, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Tune into that one as well. Plenty of action, and then I think we don't have anything going on next week, which is gonna be the holidays, Christmas.
That's partially true. We don't have any live streams next week.
Yeah, that is true. Well, yeah. We have lots of content coming out. Adam, once again, big shout out, Adam, working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So just keep an eye on our YouTube channel for lots of stuff, and it's been fun. It's been real fun. 2023, and I can't wait to see what 2024 is going to bring for us. With that being said, big shout out Corey Lindsay, Carlos Costa, and all the drivers that have been a part of the Three Rock Series. Matt Grunberg, the championship as well, and all the entire outstanding crew at JCTV. Cameron Caldwell for all he does. You, Adam, for all you do. Dawson, not able to join us tonight. He was having issues on his end as well. But Dawson, he I don't think I shout. Excuse me, I don't think I shout him out enough. But that's going to do it from us here tonight at Richmond Raceway. So have a safe holiday, whatever it is you celebrate. Just stay safe if you're traveling, hanging out with family, friends. Just be safe and enjoy it. And till next time, we will see you. And take care.